Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be asking a really critical question. Is LPT Realty a fly-by-night brokerage or does it have real staying power? You know, with all the buzz around LPT and its rapid growth, it's important to look beyond just the numbers and see if there's real substance there and break down, is this a sustainable company or is it a fly-by-night that might just fold up in the next couple years? Because we've seen a lot of that stuff happen inside the industry. So we're going to dive right into that and peel back some layers to see, does it have staying power or is it just fly-by-night? Let's dive right in. Now, before we do that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We want to continue to see this thing grow because we're always giving you the best, most relevant real estate information where we're helping you sell more real estate, generate more leads, convert it at a higher level, crush video, and a ton of other things that we're here to help you with here at Real Estate CEOs. So let's jump right in there. Make sure that you also comment, like, and share this video with anybody who has any questions about LPT. If it's yourself, if it's a colleague, your broker, your team leader, whatever it might be, if they're talking about it, make sure they get a chance to watch this video because we'll be answering that question. Is it going to stay? Or is it just going to pass along like a bunch of other brokerages have in the past? Let's get into it. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Does rapid growth mean sustainability? No, it does not. Just because you see something growing really fast doesn't mean that it's going to continue to grow at that rate or that it's going to stay at its current level of growth. So what we have to do is we have to break it down further than just like, hey, do people like it? Are people excited? Is it growing fast today? We have to look at a couple other really important components. So let's break those down. So really you can break it down into three subsections, right? Leadership and vision, adoption of technology and resources, and sales production and market performance. Those are really the three main subjects that all that falls into. So let's start off with leadership. Now, LPT Realty is led by the CEO and founder, Robert Palmer, who is constantly demonstrated that he has a clear vision for the company's future. Now, he makes adjustments as needed, but they're all in alignment with that long-term vision. A really good example is no monthly fees or the option to pay a monthly fee and get all the LPT Plus benefits. If you don't know what LPT Plus is, I have a video that I've shot about that, and you can go ahead and check that out because it's amazing stuff that's going on, and there's new announcements coming out pretty much every week on that program. But anyways, he's been very consistent with the vision of the business. And his leadership has really been instrumental in driving LPT's growth and keeping it sustainable. Because the way that he structured the entire system, especially as it relates to revenue share, is really important to sustainability. Only 50% of that revenue share pool be paid out, which means the company is sustainable. And then their dual sponsorship model, which I've done another video on that as well, actually has a structure where 10% of that revenue share that's split in the dual sponsorship model actually goes to the company. That furthers the sustainability of it. So financially sustainable, I actually really like the model. It's one of the reasons that it attracted me. Now, let's jump onto the company's adoption of technology and marketing resources, because if an agent population does not adopt what technology and resources are provided by the brokerage, then they're not really tied to the brokerage. They don't see as much value, right? Now, here's the thing. Most brokerages offer some CRM. Hardly ever is it proprietary, and not too many people use it, especially like big teams that are already running their own platforms. So with LPT, the difference is that there is higher adoption because of the marketing resources. Things like the listing power pack for every single listing, the luxury packets, those things where LPT has its proprietary marketing, has its own print facility, and an easy to use back-end system where people can order marketing and get it all done in a one-stop shop solution. Well, that is adopted at a really high level right now at LPT. And so unlike any other brokerage I've seen, they actually get buy-in from the agents to use the resources that are being provided. I'll give you a really good example. It was a great time there. I say nothing negative about EXP, but one of the things is I never used any of their tech. I didn't use KV Core. I barely went into the EXP world during COVID. So what I was really paying for, I wasn't really using. So I didn't feel like I was losing anything. I didn't feel like I was getting any additional resource, especially for the $85 a month I was paying. Whereas at LPT, you're getting free marketing resources with no monthly fee. Or if you want to upgrade to the Plus, like I said earlier, you can do that. So really interesting stuff there in terms of actually adopting the technology and the resources. And that's just the beginning, because with LPT Connect and its new rollouts with Listing Power Tools Collab Edition, you're going to see a lot more interconnectedness with agents connected with the brokerage and agents connecting with other agents, which creates a lot more stickiness. So as long as agents are engaging with the resources and participating in the ecosystem that those resources exist in, well, then you're going to see a higher level of retention for a brokerage. And that's a really important piece. I can't stress that enough. A lot of other brokerages might offer some things, and if you can't get adoption of those resources, then people don't really stay. You see a lot higher turnover. And so I think there's a lot of brokerage out there that offer a bunch of stuff, but none of it's critical to the mission of selling more real estate, or very few of those resources are very critical to the mission of selling real estate. And so the agents end up not being able to really capitalize on that. They don't really see the value. There's this big disconnect between like, oh, I get this free service that I don't really need to grow my business, versus over here where it's like everything they give me is focused on helping me sell more. And we're going to jump into the core philosophy of LPT right now, which I think is really the number one reason why I think personally it's going to be a sustainable model. But perhaps the most telling factor of LPT Realty's staying power, or any brokerage's staying power, is when you go and dive in and look at performance in the marketplace. That's really the main thing. Is if people are selling real estate and they're doing really well, that means the company has sustainability. They do need to adopt, like I said, the resources, and they also need to believe in the vision and the leadership. But ultimately, you can believe in the vision and the leadership all you want. You can adopt as much technology and marketing resources as you want. But if you don't sell real estate, real estate companies don't exist for very long. So let's jump into what that looks like at LPT. So a couple quick highlights, and I'll just shoot these off because I don't want to bore you to death, but they're also critical, is for the first 3 months of the year, actually the first 4 months of the year, LPT did over $1 billion in sales, which is huge, and it's a great trend for, especially, remember, LPT is only 2 years old. It hit its 2-year birthday in March of 2024. And so now we're seeing this really start to take off in terms of agent count, sure, but production is really where it's at. So this year, and we're looking back at 2023, LPT had some of the top producing agents and teams in the entire country, as evidenced by the Real Trends rankings. So in a recent post, our CEO, Robert Palmer, shared some really impressive statistics that I think speak to this whole production part. And it's not just teams, it's also individual agents. So I'll just bring up a couple highlights. The number one agent individual in Louisiana, Darren James, LPT. Number one individual agent by sides in Nevada, LPT. That's Justine Oros. Number one mega team in Wisconsin by sides, the Landro Real Estate. Number two mega team in Nevada by sides with 483 sales, the Nevada Real Estate Group, great group of people. Number two mega team in Kansas by sides, the Urban Cool Homes. Number two mega team in Arizona by volume with 341 million, KP Elite and the Zabat Group. Number two large team in Iowa by sides, Clarkson Group. And the list keeps growing and growing. I mean, we've got teams that are doing 131 sides, 376 sides with the Duncan duo. We're even seeing my buddy Jeff out in South Carolina, who doesn't participate in Real Trends, but he closed over 1,000 transactions. I don't know where that put him in the rankings, but I know he crushes that. We've got so many teams, and there's a list that I have on this video right here. You can pause it if you'd like and just go take a look at that. But one other really interesting thing to think about. So LPT started in Florida 2 years ago. So that's where we've been the longest. That's the market we've been in the longest, right? And so what's interesting is 13 of this total 62 mega teams in Florida are at LPT Realty. That's the second most of any brokerage. Now, the brokerage that has the most is EXP. They've been around for a long time, well over a decade, more than 5 times as long as LPT, that's for sure. And they have 18 of the top teams. So they have 18 of the top teams. LPT's only been around 2 years, has 13 of the top teams, and they're showing no signs of slowing. And so that should show us that LPT is not just attracting these onesie twosie agents that are looking for a flat fee brokerage, because LPT, or just a reminder, has both a flat fee brokerage option where you're only paying $500 per transaction, capped at $5,000, or the 80-20 split, capped at $15,000 for the rev share partners. So a lot of people look at that and they go, oh, that's going to be the place where they charge no monthly fees and there's a low cap. It must only be for low producers. Well, Real Trends, the most reliable real estate statistics out there right now, would beg to differ. And so if you see Florida as a proxy for the rest of the country as LPT matures in every state, well, you're going to start seeing a lot of big teams on the Real Trends list and every other list that counts. You're going to start seeing more and more LPT on that leaderboard. And here's the thing, these rankings show that, yeah, of course, LPT isn't just attracting agents, it's attracting top producers. This is a significant indicator if you really think about it, because this implies something really important, that LPT has the infrastructure, support, and appeal necessary to sustain its growth if top producing team leaders and brokerages are folding in and being part of LPT. So let's kind of wrap this up, right? So to answer the question, is LPT Realty a fly-by-night company or does it have staying power? Well, the evidence strongly suggests that LPT is here to stay. With robust leadership, a clear vision, cutting-edge technology, best-in-class marketing, and top-producing agents, LPT Realty is really positioned for long-term success. For more personalized advice and specific strategies, book a one-on-one private call with me. I'd love to show you exactly what we're doing inside our businesses to continue to grow, whether that's generating leads, converting leads at a higher level, growing a team, recruiting and building a downline, or getting started with video. We are helping all of our partners really grow in the areas that matter. So if you want to learn what it would look like for you, your business, your team, your brokerage to make the move over to LPT and be participating in this huge upside and opportunity, go into the description below, book some one-on-one time with me there. I'm looking forward to connecting with you soon. And until next time, happy selling.